today I'm watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 6, Episode 22. It is the Season 6 finale. I can't believe we're here already. I know there's only 7 seasons, so it's definitely a little bittersweet as we get later into the seasons. I really like this show, but of course, all good things have to come to an end. So I'm very curious to see how this episode is going to end. The last episode, we saw Giles, burst through the doors of the magic shop and was able to knock out Willow. So what does that mean? Does he have powers now? He, shot this kind of ball of light at her. So, yeah, I'm very curious to see where they go with that and how they explain that. We know Giles has been away for most of this, season. So, yeah, I'm very excited that he's back. I think it's going to be a good thing, but he doesn't approve of Willow's magic. So I'm sure this is going to lead to some interesting moments as they have, this conflict already that we know has been building. Typically in the season finale, it's, you take out the bad guy and that's it. But we've already taken out Warren thanks to Willow's terrifying magic skills of skin removal, and now Jonathan and Andrew have escaped with Xander, so I'm not too sure where this is going to go, if Willow is now going to become our bad guy, what that's going to look like, because she's been going on a rampage, going after Jonathan and Andrew, and if she's able to take them out, then what? It's not going to bring Tara back, unfortunately. We lost Tara, which was devastating, and Buffy was almost killed again as well in one season. And to see Willow go back to this dark side of magic, and yeah, I'm very curious, because yeah, we've kind of already taken out the bad guy, so what are we going to do now? And yeah, they always end with some kind of crazy situation, so I'm very nervous and worried going into the season finale, especially heading into the last season. What's that gonna look like? But thank you so much for sharing and this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content.
Giles?
I'm so excited he's back.
Giles. Uh-oh. Daddy's home.
Neither am I. Stay down.
How'd you do that?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they explore, Giles having powers now.
Help you.
Thanks, but I can kill a couple geeks all by myself.
That's not what we're worried about.
Watchers are good at, right? Watching? Butting in on things that don't concern you?
You concern me, Willow.
Aw.
Stay on this path and you'll wind up dead.
I don't like this foreshadowing. I don't like that comment.
You called me a rank, arrogant amateur.
That is a direct quote, yes.
Brewbird.
I'm sure he loves that. Whoa, my god, no! That was like horror movie demon-esque. Oh my god, I don't like that.
What? No! Get off! Solo! Leave her out!
Oh my god, she's turning green! Oh, that's cool.
It puts her in a kind of stasis for the time. You cut your hair.
I'm so glad he's back. My heart.
I'm blonde.
She's like, I was also left at the altar. It's been a big year for me.
I'm blonde.
Yes, I noticed.
Oh, Anya. Aw.
Money's been so tight that I've been slinging burgers at the Double Meat Palace, and I've been sleeping with Spike.
Just of everything. I was wondering if she was going to tell him about Spike. This feels like an interesting way to round out the season as well. Here's just oh, not the response I thought. Laughing? Buffy is not impressed. He's like, I was gone for 1 year. Giles is laughing? I don't think we've ever heard him laugh before, to be honest. Is it just everything's so effed up we have to just laugh at it? Oh my god. Not at all. I thought this was going. Cheese and rice.
You were right to leave. We're just stupid.
I know you're all stupid.
It is time I was an adult.
Sometimes the most adult thing you can do is ask for help when you need it.
I think they need a chance to stand on their own 2 feet.
Be as she was. Willow's killed a human being.
Yeah, that changes things, of course.
How will she be able to live with herself?
I wouldn't worry about that.
Ah, frickin' Anya. Aw, no.
Willow doesn't live here anymore.
Oh, God. What did she do to Anya now? Oh, my gosh.
In jail.
Saw you, Tim.
Oh, my gosh, no.
Me once.
Next to the wall of, yeah, of course, sharp objects. I knew that was coming. It was too, like, placed.
Shame on you.
Take him!
Ooh!
Scudo!
I like that Giles has power. Oh my gosh, right through the wall.
Tara's dead, and Willow's losing.
Well, feeling sorry for yourself isn't helping either, Xander, okay?
She's got a point there.
You know, if Spike were here, he'd go back and fight.
Sure, if he wasn't too busy trying to rape your sister.
Oh, yep, that happened, and Dawn didn't know. Oh, Xander.
I believe you.
Fine.
You wouldn't do that.
He definitely did.
Bloody hell.
Oh my god, that's my nightmare. That's my nightmare. Oh my god, they're going in his mouth. Oh my god, so many bugs.
That all you got, Chiefs?
She's becoming like Michael Myers. Like, no matter what you do.
Who care about you become meaningless. I wonder what Tara would say.
Oh.
Ask her yourself.
Oh! Oh my god. Oh my god. The magic shop is taking a beating. Cheese and rice.
It'll bury them, along with anyone else helping those dead men walk out.
I mean, I love a good fireball, but just not like this.
Oh well. Fly, my pretty fly. See what I did there?
Go.
She's so good at being so evil. It's a great performance from her. And terrifying, though. This, like, sarcastic evil.
Fair that I was the one with power. That's why you ran away.
Casso.
That's why you...
Oh, nice. And the way she's just, like, playing with him like a toy, like, just taunting him.
You need to stop.
What I need is a little pick-me-up.
Oh my god! Oh my god, is she killing Giles? Oh my god, what? Binge.
Who's your supplier? This is...
Oh, did she, like, steal his power?
It's incredible.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
No mortal person has ever had this much power. Ever.
Is she immortal now? What?
It feels like I can feel everyone.
The last thing Willow needed was more power. Frick.
Oh, you poor bastard. Your suffering has to end.
Oh my god, what? I don't like that. Suffering of who? Everybody? Ugh. Crazy episode, which is no surprise for the season finale, but I'm very worried.
Get out of there!
Oh! Cheese and rice. Yep, the fireball found them. And we're always back in the cemetery. Oh my god! Oh my god! Good night. That was too close.
Mexico, huh?
Yeah, of course they're gonna run. Of course. No surprise there. I'm so glad Anya's okay. I was worried something horrible had happened.
You have to rest.
Silly girl. I'm dying.
No. No. Stop. No.
Finish what?
The world.
They gotta stop threatening to take over the world. Come on, man. We've done Apocalypse so many times. What is Willow doing now? World domination? Oh my god. And that Giles could feel what she feels.
That's the last place on Earth we need to be.
Oh. But it was good enough for you to take me there after what he did to you?
Yeah. She knows.
Here. Willow's killing and people I love keep dying. And you cannot protect me from that.
Oh, my heart. That's Willow's. Or that's Buffy's job. That's what she wants to do.
No, and things just got a whole lot worse.
How worse?
End of the world worse. Willow's going to destroy it.
Oh my god, I don't like this. This is terrifying.
Panic Temple. Kingman's Bluff?
There's no temple on Kingman's Bluff.
Well, I guess there is now. Oh my god, she's resurrecting this ancient temple. Good night. This is horrible. Never thought we'd see an episode where Willow was the one destroying the world.
Don't think he has a lot of time left.
Oh, my heart. No. No, no, no. We just got him back. Come on.
Me who took you out of the Earth. Well, now, the Earth wants you back.
Oh my god. Oh! Oh, what is... Mummies? Oh my god. Cheese and rice. This is not looking good.
They just keep coming.
Like literally growing out of the earth, these like zombie mummy demon things.
You help me.
I got your back.
The literal passing of the sword. Get him! I know they both think they're saving the world, like, you know, Buffy's whole mentality is saving the world with her sling, and now Willow's like, well, I'm gonna save the world by just killing everybody, there'll be no more pain. Oh! Xander?
Hey, black-eyed girl.
I don't love that nickname.
You're not the only one with powers, you know. You may be a hopped-up uber witch, but this carpenter can drywall you into...
I was like, when did he get powers? Decapitation, nice one, Dawn. Yeah, I never thought we would see the two of them fighting together, so that's interesting.
I get that. It's just, where else am I gonna go? You've been my best friend my whole life.
Oh, Xander. Oh.
Is this the master plan? You're gonna stop me by telling me you love me?
Well, I was gonna walk you off a cliff and hand you an anvil. I'm going out. It's here. If you want to kill the world, well, then start with me.
Oh, Xander. Oh.
I won't.
It doesn't matter. I'll still love you.
Shut up.
Oh. Oh my gosh. The fact that he's like, even if the world ends, I want to be with you because you're my best friend. Oh. I think it's working though. I mean, she's crying and showing some kind of emotion, but it's destroying Xander in the process.
I love you.
Shut up!
Oh, I was not expecting this. Oh, her power's gone.
I love you, Willow.
Stop!
Oh. I have not always been Team Xander, but he is proving himself 1000% right here. No. Oh, poor Willow.
I love you.
They did say nothing supernatural could stop her. And her hair changing back. Oh, Willow's back. Oh, my heart. I was very worried of how that was gonna end.
Giles! You're not dead!
No. Yes. It was he who got to her in time. He saved us all.
I never would have predicted Xander would be our big hero for this episode, but he has his moments.
I think it's over, Buffy.
And now what? You gotta deal with everything. Yeah, exactly.
And I want to be there when it does. I want to see my friends happy again.
Oh, Buffy.
I don't want to protect you from the world. I want to show it to you.
Oh. It's good to see them reconnect. And how we started the episode with Buffy literally, crawling out of a grave as well. That's how we're ending the season. Or started the season with her crawling out of the grave. Yeah, now her and Dawn crawling out together. And in Buffy fashion, they usually destroy some kind of set, like the magic box is obviously in shambles. To be understood. Do we need another season with these two, though, really? Can this just be... I don't need to see these characters again.
So Buffy can get what she deserves. Very well.
Is he actually getting the chip out? Oh! Oh! What? What? Not how I thought that was going. Oh my god. And of course that's how they end it. Oh my god. Returning Spike Soul. He's gonna hate that. Oh my god. Wow, 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 wow. So that was my first time watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 6, Episode 22, the end of the 6th season, which is crazy. I've been watching this show for 2 or 3 years now, and going into the last season is definitely bittersweet, but this season finale I feel like was a little bit different. I feel like this whole season has been different from what we're used to, and it's not my favorite season, and maybe that's why, is because it's a little bit different. And I feel like this season they were focusing a lot on real world things, Buffy dealing with money and getting a job and chores, and obviously, after the loss of Joyce, her role had to shift more into taking care of Buffy and kind of growing up quicker. Like, she's not going to university anymore, she's focusing more on just trying to survive, and starting the season off with her literally, being pulled out of heaven and brought back to earth, and then trying to decide if she even wants to be here, like being alive. And to have this episode, emulate a similar shot with having her and Dawn crawling out of the grave, I feel like was definitely intentional. And the fact that she's not doing it alone, I think was a big piece, because I feel like Buffy was, we saw her struggle with, do I tell my friends I was in heaven, because they thought she was in hell and they were trying to help her. But, to have Dawn with her and to see her and Dawn have this moment. And typically season finales is, Buffy fighting the bad guy. But this, we didn't really see that. It was her and Dawn trying to go stop Willow, but they weren't able to. And we know, from past episodes and past seasons, Dawn has always been very protected. And to see Buffy kind of have that mindset shift in this episode where she's like, you know what, I don't need to protect you from everything because she can't control everything. And Dawn's like, yeah, people are going to die. Like, that's just unfortunately how it goes. And for Buffy to realize, let's go out and live. Like, she's choosing to live her life and wants Dawn to be a part of that. And is like, let's go, I want to show you the world, I think was a really sweet moment. So yeah, to have that moment in a season finale, I thought was interesting, because typically it's, like I said, them fighting the bad guy and focusing on that. So this whole season has felt like they're trying to step away from the supernatural. obviously there's still supernatural elements involved. It's Sunnydale, it's the Hellmouth. There's always going to be those supernatural creatures and, vampires and demons, like we saw, as they're in this tomb, this grave, trying to fight these things that just keep crawling out of the wall, basically, with these giant talon arms that always look so creepy. Every special effect, demon creature thing in the show is so well done, and this was no exception, of course. But to have them have their own little separate battle off to the side, it almost felt like Willow had taken over the main character status in this episode as we kind of switched to her story arc. And obviously after losing Tara and everything, that was just so much grief. I don't think she knew how to deal with it, and I think this show has dealt with grief numerous times, and I think they always do it in a really clever way. Even when Joyce passes away, we see Willow trying to struggle with what to wear, like what do I do with this, like how do I process these feelings, and at the end of season 5 thinking that Buffy's dead, and what do I do with that. But Willow, even with that, went right into I can fix this. And I think with Tara, she tries to fix it right away and it doesn't work, so there's just, she can't even handle it. So I think that's obviously part of what fuels this dark magic, and she doesn't want to process it. And I think when Xander finally gets through to her, we see her, okay, she's finally come back to the world, and you see her hair change back to red and her eyes, and she actually like sheds a tear. And yeah, like I said, I've not always been team Xander. He's had his cringeworthy moments for sure, and he's had some redeeming moments, and this is definitely in his top 5 redeeming moments for his character, because he was willing to sacrifice himself, basically, and we hear him struggle with how helpless he's felt this whole episode, and it's like, well, what am I gonna do? And Dawn, says like, well, feeling sorry for yourself isn't really going to help anything. And sometimes I think he does beat himself up, a lot. And to see him not go to rescue Buffy, but to go and talk to Willow. And we do hear them say that, nothing supernatural can stop Willow. So for it to be, the raw emotions, the friendship, that bond they have, I think is really, really the essence of the show is friendship. And like, yes, there's supernatural stuff, of course, but these are human people, and this, we have the Slayer, but their core friend group is what's got them through, I think, all of these situations and all of these hardships and struggles. And there's been many times, but I think that's what keeps them together, and that's what makes the show different. And even thinking back to Kendra, one of the Slayers, who's like, I wasn't close to my friends and family, like I was separated and just trained to be a killer, basically. And Buffy didn't grow up that way. She had her mom, she gets Dawn, she gets her friends, and to have friendship be what kind of brings Willow back from the brink, I think was such an important part. And maybe not like a crazy blood gushing splatter of demon killing, but I think we've had plenty of gore and those intense scenes for this season. But for Xander to stand there and be like, I remember Willow in kindergarten, and gets the cuts on his face, but he still doesn't waver, like it really showed his loyalty to Willow and had the long history that they have together and their friendship. And even him saying like, hey, if the world's ending, cool, I'm with you. Like, if that's not love, I don't know what is. And him choosing to be with her, and maybe he didn't even think he could stop her. He didn't know that Giles's power had even given her the chance to have this kind of door open for emotions again. So maybe he thought he would fail horribly. Xander isn't really known for his confidence. So to see him stand there and just say like, hey, I remember when this crayon broke and you were crying. And for Willow to just keep attacking him, and she's resisting giving into these feelings so much, and for it to finally just collapse and, hug Xander and starts crying her eyes out. And yes, she was obviously crying when Tara died as well, but I think this was like just the overwhelming sense of grief. And I'm very curious to see where season 7 is going to go for a lot of reasons, because there's going to be a lot of fallout from this, I feel like, because Willow did kill a human, and that's something she's going to have to learn to accept. And I don't know what that's going to be like, because now not only is she going to have to deal with the grief of losing Tara, and her magic taking over her and consuming her, and all the horrible things that she did while it was happening, and that she hurt her friends. And I almost thought she killed Anya until we saw Anya come back, and I was like, oh my gosh, like you can't come back from that also. And then putting on that she killed Warren on top of that. So yeah, I'm very curious to see how her character is going to process that and what that's going to look like. We see Jonathan and Andrew take off to Mexico, and please no spoilers, but I don't need to see their characters again. Like, I feel like their storyline has run its course, and I don't think we need to come back to them. So yeah, I'm curious to see where the next season, if they'll mention them at all. Like, we saw them take off, obviously, the first chance they got. I don't know that Buffy would pursue it because, again, they're humans and she was trying to stop them, even with that fireball coming after them that Willow had sent. She goes to save them. She wants to save the humans, even though she doesn't like them and they've done horrible things to her. She wants to go save them, and I think if they're out of sight, out of mind, I think she'll just let it go. But yeah, I'm curious to see where it's gonna, if their storyline will be mentioned again. To see Giles come back was huge. We know he left, pretty early on in this season, and to hear him, ask forgiveness from Buffy, to say, please forgive me for leaving. And I think he had to leave, though. As tough as it was, I think he needed to, and even Buffy, I think, has realized that now, saying, like, we needed, to stand on our own 2 feet. We needed some time to be independent, and to see her tell him that she doesn't outright say she feels more confident, but I think she's not doubting herself as much because she had Giles, she had things to rely on, and those were very quickly taken away. Joyce, Giles, now she has a little sister she has to worry about, and she has to get a job, and like all of these real world things I think hit her really quickly, and she was forced to figure them out because no one else was there, which is probably a bit of tough love, but she did it. She made it through. She survived, literally, mentally, physically, made it through. And she was so excited to see Giles again, which was a really sweet moment. And he's talking about her hair, and she just goes in for this big, big hug. It was just such an impactful moment. And then Anya's like, hey, me too. Like, I dyed my hair too. Because I think she, her and Giles had their own relationship as well. But I think it was just the perfect way to come full circle for this season was to have Giles come back. And although I secretly wish he had powers permanently, maybe that would be too risky, and like, how would they explain that? What would that mean? So it was nice to see him have these powers, even if it was temporary. And we know he has, his past is the Ripper, but I was curious to see if he was gonna have, because we haven't seen him for episodes and episodes, like, would he have some, crazy backstory of how he has these powers, and that, the worldwide scope of Willow's powers, that this was felt from a coven of witches, in England, and just like, that's crazy that someone would pick up on that. It's not even, the next town or city or anything like that. It's literally a whole other country that has noticed this, and that they even knew about Tara, and that's how Giles found out about it. But just crazy to think of the scope. And even other times when people have met Buffy and they're like, oh, you're the Slayer, like, just the vastness of their reputation always amazes me. I don't know what this coming back for Giles means. I'm curious, to see in the next season, in the next episode, where they're gonna go. I hope he stays, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if he left again, if his only goal was to come back and see Willow and to stop her, and to see Buffy tell him everything that's happened this season and him just laugh. Like, I was not expecting that response. So I think this episode did a good job of including some heartfelt moments, some comedic moments. Xander had some funny lines as well. Giles had some good lines. And Willow being this very sarcastic, dark magic version of herself. And even her saying, like, Willow's not here anymore. It's like, that's scary. Like, she's just completely left her old persona behind and has created this new version of herself that is very cold and calculated and has little compassion. The way the episode was going, I was thinking they're setting it up for Willow to be the bad guy for season 7. I did not think they were going to be able to stop Willow. I'm glad she didn't destroy the world, obviously, but I thought maybe they'd be able to slow her down, but she'd take off or something like that. And I was kind of anticipating, that Willow would be our villain for the next season. And then even when they showed Spike, I was like, okay, Spike's going to be our villain for the next season because they're setting him up. He's set on this, revenge for Buffy and wants to get the chip taken out, and nope, that's not what happens. Of course, we see that last shot with Spike and he's getting his soul reinstated like Angel did, so I was not expecting that in any capacity. And of course, true to the show, they leave that for the last frickin' scene and just roll credits and goodbye. Again, I couldn't imagine watching this on TV. It would have been an agonizing year or whatever it would have been to watch the next episode. I'm lucky that I can just watch the next episode, right away. But Spike with a soul? Are you kidding me? Like, what? in no universe storyline did I ever think that would happen. Like, thinking of how Spike, in season 2 and everything that's happened and how far his story has come, and we have seen him have some moments for sure of kindness, but we've also seen him have some moments of pure evil. So I have no idea what Spike with a soul is gonna look like. And honestly, I'd kind of written off his character after what he did to Buffy in the bathroom, so I had no interest in seeing where his character is going to go. I was done with him, but I think this is going to be his saving point, because if he goes back to Sunnydale now, is he going to be able to explain? And we know that Buffy and Angel were together, and Angel was a vampire with a soul, so just lots of questions, obviously. I'm probably getting ahead of myself. No capacity did I ever expect Spike to get his soul reinstated, and I feel like he's gonna hate that because he's done a lot of horrible things, and Angel's had his soul for a while, so he's had time to kind of process this and is still brooding and sad, most of the time. So what is Spike gonna do? Because Spike's had a lot longer, time being a vampire and being horrible. So yeah, I'm reinvested now in Spike's character to see where this is going to go, because he's got a soul now. I feel like this episode was focused a lot on conversations and a lot of dialogue, which I don't mean in a bad way at all, but it felt like the previous episode we had big action sequences, and this one we definitely had some, but I feel like they were more focused on, okay, here's where we're at, and having those conversations with Giles that they haven't been able to have, and talking to Dawn and Buffy, kind of reconnecting with that. And like I said, I definitely feel like Buffy was kind of a side character in this episode. I feel like Willow was taking center stage, and Giles had his story going as well. So to have Buffy not even involved in the final battle, I think was an interesting choice, and something we don't typically see, and especially with a long running show, it's nice to see them kind of change things up. Again, this wasn't my favorite season, but it's interesting when they try and do something different. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but to see them have, these villains, Andrew, Jonathan, and Warren as our main bad guys for the whole season, having that human element does complicate things. And I think with shows like Buffy, people want that escapism. They want those supernatural elements, and it's not, real life, and you get those kind of, demons, and you get those vampires, and to have it be 3, goobers from high school that she knew to come back into her life might not have been the style that the show was looking for, but yeah, it's interesting that they tried it, and I'm hoping for season 7 we go back to more supernatural villains. Please no spoilers, but I feel like this was their trial and error, and I don't know how well this season was received when it came out, but it hasn't been my favorite season. We've definitely had some strong episodes for sure, but for me it was more mix of average episodes and then some good episodes, as opposed to great episodes and average episodes. So yeah, and I know season 7's the last season as well, so I'm very curious to see how they're going to tie everything together. I liked the effects of the magic, and to have Willow be bound with this glowing orb thing around her, and the fireball was really cool, and raising this temple from the ground, really cool. So they always do such a good job, and even considering the age of the show, I don't think it shows. I think you could watch this, tomorrow, and it would still look really well done, which I think speaks volumes, because sometimes you watch older shows and the effects can kind of take you out of it, but the show I think excels at that, and then just adds to the storyline as well. And to see Willow's eyes black, and even she had kind of that demonic voice for that one scene, and the big black eyes and her hair, and just the veins on her face as well, just to really signal to the audience that this is dark magic Willow basically. So we lost a few characters this season as well. Rack's gone, Tara's gone, Warren is obviously gone. Every season they bring in new characters, so I'm curious to see what that's going to look like, who they're going to bring in. And we destroyed the magic shop in this episode as well, so I don't know what that means, if they're going to have to find some new place, if they're going to try and rebuild it, because, Anya and Giles were a big part of the magic box, but it was done. It did not look like it was salvageable. It wasn't a little, shelf fell or everything. Every piece of that place was ripped from top to bottom, from Willow and Giles, fight, and Buffy fighting Willow. So I'm not anticipating seeing it again, but we'll see where season 7 goes. Overall, I thought it was a really, really good episode. You know, this season has been kind of up and down, but I feel like they really pulled it together for the season finale, and I'm glad Willow is not going to be, you know, dark magic Willow for more episodes. I'm glad Xander was able to pull her out of that and bring her back to the Willow that we know and love. And again, it's not going to be a cakewalk. Willow is going to have to process some big, big things moving forward. You know, the loss of Tara, killing a person, and grappling with that, and, you know, her friends trying to save her and her just betraying them, and her, you know, hurting them and not really caring what they think at all, and just kind of going her own way, and just that dark magic, that path that we know she's gone down before, but this was obviously to an extreme. It was interesting to have her explore that route again, especially when we brought her back, and I'm really going to miss Tara's character. I thought she was a great addition to the cast, and I'm curious to see if Giles will stay, what that's going to look like, if Buffy and Dawn are going to start fighting together more, if Dawn's going to, like, go out patrolling with them, because we saw Dawn, you know, hold her own in a fight and was doing okay. So if Xander and Anya are going to get back together, what that's going to look like. I'm curious to find out who our villain is going to be in the next season. You know, is Spike going to come back to Sunnydale? His whole plan was like, I'll show her, like, I'll get vengeance, but now that he has a soul again. So yes, definitely setting up a lot of things for the next season, and I'm very curious to see how they're all going to play out and what stories we're going to explore and how everything is going to come together in the last season, which is so heartbreaking to say. And thank you so much for sharing on this first time watching with me. If you've been watching my Buffy reactions for years, if this is, you know, something you're new to, either way, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me that you've stuck with me through this journey of watching Buffy, and the Buffy fandom has just been incredible, and it truly means so much to me. All the likes, comments, watching, everything. It's just so wonderful that I get to share my first time watching this show with everybody. So it really, really means a lot. So thank you so much. And if you have any other suggestions for TV shows you want me to watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. That was like horror movie demon-esque. Oh my god, she's turning green! They gotta stop threatening to take over the world. They did say nothing supernatural could stop her. I think it's working though. I mean, she's crying and showing some kind of emotion. Like literally growing out of the earth, these like zombie mummy demon things. I mean, I love a good fireball, but just not like this.